Today I want to talk about implementation and how extremely important it is for you as a neurodivergent entrepreneur to ensure that you're implementing and executing on all of the things that you need to do in your business to just make it feel good and move forward so you can grow, right? You started this business because you have a passion for what you do. You want to provide this service or this strategy or this coaching or training, whatever it is, this product, right? You want to do that because you believe in it. You are a creative person. You love so deeply. And that is why implementing and executing so that your message can get out to these people is huge. It's huge for you. So I'm Carolee Galt. I'm a systems and productivity strategist for neurodivergent entrepreneurs, and I'm always wanting to support you as a neurodivergent entrepreneur to be more productive in your business, your household, and your life, so that way you can just have more time for you, your business, like your kids, your family, the things that are most important to you. That's my goal. So today I'm going to be talking about implementation, okay? And when a lot of people hear implementation, it's the planning and the executing of the things, okay? The planning and the taking action of the things. And so when we talk about implementation as a whole, that's what I'm talking about. So when you implement something, you are thinking about it. You are writing it down, breaking it down, and then you are figuring out what those steps need to be in order to execute on them. What happens is that in life, we get very distracted, we can't focus, we are second guessing ourselves all the time, and so that means that we're having less time to actually do the thing. These distractions aren't going anywhere. So we need to put into place some systems, processes, some things, some accountability in order to start really figuring out how to move forward with this. And one of those ways is by taking all of those distractions away to where you can just focus on the thing you showed up to focus on. A lot of times we do this at what a lot of people would be like, you rent a hotel room and you just go to the hotel room all by yourself and you set it up, you order food, like and you focus. Now, if you're someone that doesn't want to do that alone, you also have someone that has the same goals, right? They're focusing on their business and you do it together. Then we have the next step. All right, so that one still involves a lot of planning from you, right? A lot of planning. You have to bring the things, you have to book the hotel, you have to show up and figure it all out. That takes a lot of time. So what I'm saying here is that there are a lot of entrepreneurs out there that specialize in supporting people to implement, okay? Without implementation, there is no business. So sometimes people will have essentially implementation retreats or retreats, business retreats. I'm sure you've been on business trips, things like that, right? What happens on a lot of business trips is we get so much information into our brain and then we're not actually given time to implement things, right? To actually take the action to do the things, to think through all the things. So sometimes we stop and we're paralyzed. So if you are someone that gets paralyzed like this from lots of information because it's information overload, I encourage you to just listen. Take some notes if you need to, but not necessarily attend everything if you don't need to, because we're going to need to decompress afterward. Okay, you need to decompress, not implement at that moment. But if normally business trips are a couple of days, so you can then toward the end be like, okay, this day is all about just implementing what I've learned, writing down notes, thoughts, taking that one next step. And that's it. If you have the opportunity to go on an implementation retreat or a retreat with a small business owner, you need to grab it. And do you know why? Because that business owner is putting their heart and soul in that planning and that entertaining and that resting and that implementing and the accountability. They are giving it their all. So search around. Are there any business retreats you can go on? Is there any implementation retreats you could go on? This is what happens at an implementation retreat ordinarily. This is what I have seen. This is what I've attended, where there are sometimes teachings. There could be no teachings and there could be some teaching, right? Some trainings. So essentially there's some trainings. There's time to implement and execute on those trainings or anything else in your business that you came to get done at that. The food is taken care of. All you have to do is get yourself there. There's even a lot of other fun things that sometimes a lot of retreat organizers end up doing. They add in brand shoots so you can get some nice photos in a really pretty house that they've rented. Sometimes there's massages. Sometimes there's some special like events, like you can go out to eat and the event owner would, or the event organizer would essentially pay for that. Like sometimes there's shopping. Like there are so many things you could do as an implementation retreat, some sort of business retreat in general, okay? But I encourage you, if you do these things, is to have time for your participants to be able to implement the things, to be able to ask questions, and not just throw a bunch of information at them and expect them to know what to do with it. Because especially if you're a neurodivergent entrepreneur here, you have tapped out after a certain amount of time because you just got overwhelmed and overstimulated. And I encourage you that if that happens at any given point during a conference or a business retreat, that you take that time to walk away and process and then come back when you're ready. There is nothing wrong with that, because now you're going to be able to absorb more information when you come back than if you just stayed. Evaluate your own self there and see what's best for you. Now, I am personally doing some retreats myself, so if you happen to be local to the Ohio area or any of the surrounding states, and you're curious as to what me as a systems and productivity strategist would be able to do for you during one of these business retreats, I encourage you to pop below and see what I have available to you, and just really embrace this time away from all the hustle and bustle of your normal life, and be able to really just focus on your business and what you need to get done to be able to continue growing and scaling. So if you found this video helpful as to how you can really be able to focus in on some things outside of your day-to-day to really just get these things done, make sure you hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe for more, as I drop one new video every single week just for you neurodivergent entrepreneurs. And I always 100% take any feedback and questions that you can leave in the comments below, and I'll create a video for you.